Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. That is right, guys. We are back on the YouTube account. 65% of you voted. This is the one that we wanted to see. I've been doing a lot with the wishlist account, also with that free-to-play account. It's interesting to see we're 5 days on the wishlist account and still making a lot of progression. We've already summoned, I believe, almost 70 elites on there, which is kind of crazy. But looking at the heroes in here, guys, we have 145 heroes, and I didn't really realize it until I went through and I actually did the new priority list. When it comes to October, we updated our list in there, the tier list. There are 145 heroes in AFK Arena, guys, and we are still continuing with our 2-week release schedule, which, guys, let me know in the chat. So a lot of players are saying the next hero that Dolly is alluding to is going to be a dimensional hero, which I haven't heard a lot of rumors about that. Which is rumors, evil wealthy merchants and noblemen were robbed during their travels through the forest. Other unscrupulous rich folks have therefore been on good behavior. They are saying that this specifically, and again, let me know in the comments, guys, that this is actually going to be a dimensional hero, and that dimensional hero is going to be Robin Hood. That is right, guys. That is what a lot of people are saying, that it is going to be Robin Hood. If you're familiar with the old school story, that is what they're saying it is alluding to. So it is going to be a dimensional hero. And again, the speculation is that it is going to be Robin Hood. It's going to be, again, kind of interesting to see. What's going on? Kooky Year is here. Raphael Primo is here as well. Dark Blaine, Case, YR, Year, Brian, thank you guys for joining me for the stream. If you guys did not see, there is a massive code that is up right now, guys. That is right. The new code yields you 3,000 diamonds and a lot of resources. We just got a code like, what, 2 days ago, I think? 3 days ago. And now we have another code, which that 3,000 diamonds are very, very welcome to see over here. This is the question and answer, guys. This, of course, we focus on the questions that we have from the viewers. So you can go ahead, throw your questions in chat, guys. We'll go through these. Yeah, I thought it would be a collab year. I don't know if they're doing another one this year because they kind of alluded to after the Rem and Amelia that they possibly could do another one this year, which, again, we're going to have to kind of wait and see if we do get another crossover or if it is in turn. And again, a lot of people are saying that it is going to be Robin Hood is what we're seeing, guys. Now, unfortunately for Javid, I am always going to save a place for Javid, guys, but you can see he's been offline for 7 days. I'm actually at this point, we're going to remove him temporarily from the wish list. I've tried to contact him in a couple different methods. My prayers go out to him, guys. I don't know exactly what's going on in his side of the world, but I know at this point, guys, it's been about a month, maybe 2, that he has actually been online. So it's been an incredible amount of time since he has been unable to get online. And again, even over on Discord, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him on Discord. I haven't seen him really anywhere at this point, which sucks. I cannot wait to see him come back to AFK Arena because he is missing a lot in here. I'm in a weird position. I have a majority of meta heroes built, and now I'm in a position where I need to build some semi-meta for the Cursed Realm and Twisted Realm, Orthos or Tarnos. Honestly, I would go, if you're building those two, I would go with Orthos. So even here, guys, I did not build Tarnos. And the reason being, he was only PvP focused, and that is really the only place within the Treasure Scramble that we do see him, JJP, as a very, very focused PvP Treasure Scramble hero. However, there are a lot of players that are not even using him any longer in the Treasure Scramble. Literally, that is the last place short of the Celestial Tower. But as we continue to see more heroes to invest in him, not really going to be there. Now, on the other hand, guys, Orthos is going to be a lot easier to get just for the simple fact that you can get copies out of a couple different game modes. I would probably go Orthos in that case because Orthos is still being used with Taylene. We've also seen Orthos in the delay team. We've also seen Orthos used with Matria. So there's been a couple different variations. We've even seen Orthos used with the Awakened version of Athalia, which again is kind of interesting to see. Yeah, exactly, Dark Blaine. Prayers go out to Javid, guys. I don't know what's going on with him. It's been, and I kind of checked, it's been months at this point that we haven't actually seen him on AFK Arena. Just got Palmer to E30. Yes, Palmer is big, guys. And remember, this is the only skin. This is actually the only skin that I have ever bought in AFK Arena was Palmer's skin right here. Definitely the engraving on him makes a big difference. And also, all of his abilities are kind of triggered by his stats. So the higher stats that you do give him, the better he's going to perform. So even if you do take him higher with the engraving aspect, the better he is going to perform overall. I'm about 57 days in my free-to-play account, stuck at chapter 30. Is it common? Yes. So the big thing, Kookie, is when you're going through AFK Arena, they have built-in walls where players are going to get stuck. Not only do they have some stages that require a very unique combination of heroes, a lot of times if you're stuck, you can make slow progression through mercenaries, through actually hiring heroes in there. You can go through there and make some good practices, but overall, it's going to be levels. There's a point that you do get stuck based on your resonating crystal, which we just hit 792 yesterday. But there is going to be a point where you have to, and you're going to get stuck on the new account. What's the investment for Orthos? Orthos overall needs the furniture. That is the biggest thing for Orthos, guys. Right here is the time suppression, buffing up the haste when they can move. But 3 of 9 Orthos, without this 3 of 9, you might as well not play or not run the hero at all, JJP. He doesn't exist till you have this 3 of 9 furniture, which is the same with Zolrath. We see the same 3 of 9 furniture. And then, of course, this you want for the crowd control aspect. Enemies that are close to Orthos for more than 6 seconds become frozen in time for 3 seconds. This gives you a 50% freeze rate, guys. So if they're every 6 seconds you freeze for 3, 50% of the time the heroes are going to be frozen. This goes hand in hand with his survivability that we see with Orthos. Definitely want to build him out. Who would you recommend to engrave to 60? Palmer, Nevi, Damia, Oden, or Orin? Honestly, out of those, Damia, Oden, and Iran would be the ones that I would probably look at, just for the simple fact that it is the damage factor with some of them. Even now, I would probably do Orin before Oden, just for the simple fact that we're at the point where Oden isn't seeing a lot of play anymore. Iran still is and still seeing play within the Nightmare Corridor. Palmer, I don't have built. Nevi, again, we're not seeing a lot of utility within Nevi. I'd say Damia or Orin. And both of them you kind of do need, because this makes a very, very big difference with the tenacity, which again, with her kind of being an off damage dealer, Orin would be probably the priority at that point, just for the fact with his stats. This is going to be the huge part, guys. This is going to be massive, especially as you continue progression. Orin does work incredibly well. Talking through it, I would probably do Orin first. That would be my thought. I'm in chapter 33 on the account. My first team, Damon, Rowan, and Liberta. In the back line, Arthur and Lucius. I'm pretty sure I'm stuck because I don't have a second team to make. So a lot of times support the second team, guys, and I know even looking at the tier list, for a majority of players, the second team will be Lucretia. That is it. Just for the simple fact that Lucretia is really the second team when you come to the campaign. And short of the campaign formations in the Hypo Tower, she's not used anywhere else. She's fallen out of all of the other game modes in their entirety. So to build a hero for that second team, either you're going to murk a hero, which in that case, you know what, literally just murk Lucretia as that second team. I know it's going to be slow with progression, but you can still make progression at that time. Just watch the tier list video. Do you think Awakened Athalia is higher priority than Belinda now? So, but they're kind of at somewhat of the same level depending on your play style. So when you look at the SSS heroes, where we put the Awakened version of Athalia and we put SS for the Awakened version of Belinda, when you look at Athalia, similar to Belinda, Athalia is either in a formation that works well, or you don't have that formation at all. Belinda and Athalia, both of those we've said for a while now, are super effective in different game modes. And yes, there is a new code. I would absolutely build out Athalia, but I would build out Belinda too. Now, Athalia, of course, being a newer hero, being one of the driving forces within the Celestial Tower, both of them are going to be used. And again, Athalia is in every game mode. Belinda is in every game mode. But overall, we're starting to see Belinda's damage just slip a little bit as we see new heroes with the power creep, which we knew was essentially going to happen. Estrilda or Jerome, absolutely Jerome. So at this point, guys, if you're looking at Estrilda is kind of phased out at this point. Even with her buffs right here with the Inspire ability, it seems like Jerome is going to be the new one to build. And Jerome is actually being used right now in the Cursed Realm and the Nightmare Corridor, especially because of the buffer that he brings to the Lightbearer heroes, especially the Awakened version of Belinda. Jerome is the one to build definitely over Estrilda. Started playing 2 days ago. I'm in chapter 10. Any tips? Can't get champions to ascend. So Dario, the big thing, if you started and if you've been following my my new account, we're 5 days into that, is literally just going through the cycle. Some of the early players, some of the early best practices is going in here and farming this, guys. This gives you diamonds, this gives you scrolls, this gives you heroes, this gives you everything early, followed by the historic adventures, guys. You want to farm these as soon as possible, especially because of the Solemn Vow. When you get to the Solemn Vow, guys, and you're able to unlock heroes in here, come in here, borrow a copy of Rem. You'll literally just run over everything with Rem. I've been going through my Peaks of Time adventure on my new account, on the wishlist account, and Rem is just soloed all of it. So it's kind of crazy. You can put whoever you want in there, but Rem has went through there and literally just soloed a ton of content, which is kind of crazy. Is the Awakened Athalia worth building? Yes. Absolutely, Daniel. The Awakened version of Athalia is one worth building for sure. And again, the tier list that we just put out was based on utility. So based in game modes, based on how many formations. So if you've seen some of these spreadsheets, the spreadsheets actually show heroes based on how many places they're used and how many iterations. So not only looking at the Cursed Realm, is looking at all of the cycles of the Cursed Realm, not just looking at the Nightmare Corridor, but looking at all of the cycle through the bosses in the Nightmare Corridor. So with that being said, the heroes like the twins are used just about every iteration in some point, and it's the exact same, guys, when it came to Mortis. Those heroes are used in so much content of AFK Arena, even going through multiple game modes, even going through multiple cycles of the Nightmare Corridor, which of course the teams do change in there. The heroes are present, and the heroes are present in all of those game modes. And look at that, Jaffa, big shout out. Look at that, a Hippo supporter for 10 months, guys. Great to see. I love seeing the little hippos right there. The little silver hippo right next to his name, guys. Thank you for supporting the channel, guys. It really does mean a lot. What is the current Celestial Hypo cap? What do you mean, Jasper? Let me know what you mean. Question in my account. I have Dimensionals, Rem, Mulan, Joan, Albedo, Furniture. What should I build first? Also, I have 5 Mythic Furniture. So when you look at the hero, so right off the bat, Felipe, Rem. Rem has 4 furniture. Rem needs 9 of 9 furniture. That is literally right off the bat, guys. This restores 500 energy points. This is one of Rem's biggest kind of support elements that we see there, not only in the addition of getting a lot more stats, but also in the addition of doing more damage, and having that energy is huge in there. Should I spend all my crystals on summons? Yes, depending where you're at. So depending where you're at, Sagok, if you don't have a lot of heroes, absolutely you want to build and you want to buy those out. Short of that, Felipe, who else do we have? So Mulan you want to build out, which I believe Amelia the same. So currently what you want to focus on, Philippe, is you want to focus on Rem with the furniture, and you want to focus on Amelia. Both of these guys, 30960 is where you want to build them. You could even do the E30 engraving on Amelia, but plus 30 signature item absolutely required on both. And with Rem being a major damage dealer, you have to have her built out to have the stats to actually be able to. Like you were saying with the crystals, it depends on spending your diamonds in here, guys. It depends how many heroes you have in the wish list. That is one of the biggest things, guys. If you're missing a significant amount of those meta heroes, you really need to continue summoning. As much as I do like the Stargazer, and we do kind of prioritize this to a point, you have to have the basic build of the majority of the meta heroes to really, in my opinion, go over to the Stargazer and start burning all your diamonds there. Because if you start stargazing too early, you're not going to be able to get cards out of the towers. That is one of the point, guys. You want to make sure you're farming those towers. What build is needed for the Thorin cheese? 309 for Thorin. You can do literally just unlock signature item, no furniture. But the 309, so the plus 30 signature item, the 9 of 9 furniture works incredibly well. Do not engrave Thorin, which is really, really important. So we got Rain, Scarlet, Damon, and Ivan. Should I pour more heroes to Ascendant or build them to 5 stars? So when it comes to heroes specifically, guys, when you get a hero to 1 star, so looking at Gineas, we took to 1 star. Looking at Naruko, we took to 1 star. Looking at, again, all of these heroes, looking at Trishia, we took her to 1 star. You only want to build them to 1 star. That is really the spot where you want to stop. Even looking at Ivan, guys, we took him to 1 star. The rest of the stars on these heroes are just from regular summons that we've kind of picked up through time, which is how you want to build them. Guys, I do 1 star and stop on all of the heroes, short of some of the really, really high meta heroes. Like we took Belinda a little bit higher. We took the Awakened version of Laika a little higher, because with a pay-to-win account, I'm putting money into this. If you're free to play, 1 star and stop, absolutely 100%. I maxed out Gwen as my main champ. She falls off at her 30. Who should I change? Will be available to change champion. We have to wait support till we get a change scroll. So once we get a swap scroll, you can actually swap, but I don't think you can swap if you have engraving. If I remember correctly, guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, I do not believe that you can use the swap scroll if you have the hero engraved. So you might be stuck with that Gwen. You might be stuck with that Gwen. I haven't watched the tier list video. Why is there only 1 Awakened in the SSS section? So the thing is here is the tier list is based on utility, like we were kind of saying. With the utility of the heroes, it crosses, again, this is looking at AFK Arena from a 10,000 foot view, is when you look at the heroes in their utility across every single game mode, who is being used the most. Now with the Awakened version of Athalia, she's being used in 100% of game modes. That is the reason why in every category, when you look at campaign, when you look at Temporal Rift, when you look at the Tower, when you look at, the Cursed Realm, the Nightmare Corridor, when you look at when you look at the Twisted Realm, the Awakened version of Athalia is being used everywhere. Belinda is being used probably 95% of everything. That's why literally there was one category, and I forget exactly where it was, that was kind of broken down when we went through the tier list and kind of dissected everything, that it was a little bit lower just based on the build. What's going on, Joffrey? Out of the 6 heroes, who should I get to? E60, Skarath, Palmer, Lucretia, Twins, Honesta, or Kren? Out of those, I would do Lucretia. And the reason being, when you look at Skarath, doesn't need it. Palmer, not a huge need for it, Raphael. Twins, again, not needed. Kren or Honesta, you could do. Kren, unfortunately, isn't being used many places. Neither is Lucretia. But again, when you look at campaign formations, when you look at the Hypo Tower, Lucretia is still going to be the carry, which is kind of crazy. I'm still confused about the Temple Rift. I watched the guides, but it just feels like too much information to take in. I'm at floor 49 on my account. If you're only on floor 49, you should, Kookie, even be able to crush through a lot of it. We stopped right here because of the loot at 303. With the Fountain of Time with 18 days left, you should have no problem going through a lot of content in there, Kookie, just based on the build that you have right here with the Trade Enhancer. You should have no problem going through there. Even with a subpar team or even with little heroes. I mean, on my free-to-play account, I'm at, I believe, 240. I think I'm around floor 240 at this point. You really want to focus down with the heroes and push that as much as you can because the loot in there is really, really good. Does Oden work well with Awakened Talene signature item 30? It does somewhat, but again, the Awakened version of Talene, not many players are running. Where Oden, Oden is usually run with Pharrell. We see it with the Awakened version of Baden. We see it with Grez. We also see it in there with Ulna. But overall, we see Pharrell still being used, which is funny because he's one of the original heroes. But the Awakened version of Talene, you could take it or leave it. Honestly, it's not going to be huge because of that. Build Gineas, Trishia, or Jerome. But depending who you can build out of right now, Trishia is in quite a few formations. So is Jerome. Honestly, Gineas, I probably wouldn't build. He's going to be, in my opinion, guys, very short-lived. And I almost think in a lot of scenarios, Gineas is going to be replaced by Jerome. And I think that's kind of what we're already seeing because of the buffs that he brings to the Lightbearer heroes. So Trishea, again, my Trishea, I did not personally build out high, but I merc Trishea, which is the reason why I continue to use her. I'm not going to take her to 60, but if you are using Trishea, Trishea and Jerome I don't think even needs the 60. I would probably take Jerome to the 30. This is his damage ability. Jerome does absolutely crap for damage, so there's no reason to 60 him. I would do this absolutely on the 30, just because they're going to be promoted faster, which means they're going to get this physical and crit much, much faster. I would do the 30 on Jerome, absolutely would not do the 60. Have any new AFK on AFK Journey? I'm going to cover it later, Devil. I've been meaning to get back, guys. I've been incredibly busy between real life, the finance channel. If you guys have checked that out, Furry Hippo Finance, and even doing content here. I've hopped on AFK Journey here and there. I know they sent out another invite to the beta, but I'm thinking probably early next year, looking at the map that they're putting out, is when the game is going to be available, and it's going to be available for iOS, and it's going to be available for Google. It's going to be available for everything and everyone, buddy. It's going to be cool to see. It's going to be really cool. Is Rem going to be the garrison this month? It should be. Looking at it, guys, Rem should be coming to the garrison this month. Again, 5 to 6 months is normally what we see through a couple different game modes. So that should put them right on par with Rem and Amelia being in there. And of course, guys, everything on here, let's hop in, do some summons. I know I wanted to go through and answer some questions. Yeah, new meta. That zone 17, you are almost spot on. So, and this is what we've kind of talked about before, because even now, when you look at Jerome, he is in formations. When you look at Naruko, in formations. When you look at Trishea, when you look at Ivan, in formations. Liberta and Lucilla, both of those used in formations. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how much we've seen these heroes really come up and how they've done incredibly well. Should I E60 Orin, Ivan, or Mulan? Out of those, I would probably do Orin. Personally, Withered Milk, I would do Orin. As much as I like Ivan, stacking him much higher doesn't have a huge effectiveness. I mean, and again, this is only when the control ends, you're reducing some of the haste. I know the engraving on there will build him up a little bit higher just based on the power and things of that nature. But again, I'm not going to take Ivan to 60. I'm not going to. Question for the garrison. I'm finding recruiting Albedo 6 times. Who should I go for next? So out of Albedo, guys, looking in the garrison, who you should go for next. So looking here, honestly, utility-wise, out of Albedo, Yennefer still sees a little bit of play. So does Queen in formations. The rest of them in the garrison, not really. Ainz doesn't see formations. Pop, Ezio, Naruko, Yukio, no, don't see anything. Even Geralt, honestly, Queen or Yennefer, or just save your resources and see when or who comes out with Rem and Amelia. If you have Rem and Amelia, I would use my resources elsewhere, guys. Honestly, I definitely would. Is pushing Aziz Ascended worth it, or should I put Kanish and Rook? Zolrath already have the Liberta. The original Aziz still has a ton of utility, guys. This hero still has a lot of utility in AFK Arena, especially because we still do have the Ice Chimera, which this cancels the ult. If you don't have them, you're not going to be able to use them, which is pretty tough. AFK Journey, I think it is going to be next year. Finance video is coming up I release every day at 2 p.m. for the finance channel, Ryan. So it's coming. Liberta's damage is so crazy. He does more damage at Legendary than maxed out Vithiel. Yes, that's one of the big things, Connor. So when you look at Liberta, that is the reason why so many players have built him out and built him out very high. With his caps and with his buffs as a support hero, he's out damaging a majority of everybody. It's kind of incredible to see. He is topping the damage in multiple formations, which is kind of crazy based on him being a support hero, which again is kind of crazy. Have you tried Trishea, Antandra, Tamaris, Ivan, and a tank? Insane damage in a short amount of time. Pippo, I'm going to have to definitely try that out. But let's see, guys. Again, I want to do some summons. So in here, we have quite a few stones. I got another copy of Alna. Now, guys, I'll show you the shop in just a minute, but we don't have really anyone. We have Ivan and we have Mortis, or excuse me, we have Alna and we have Mortis. 4 stones here, guys. Can it be Celestial or Hypogen? It is. Nothing but food. All of that fodder is just going to be recycled over here. But like I was saying, within the store, guys, we are pretty limited. I'm to the point where we have Ulna and we do have Mortis, and that is it. Then it's going to be farming these red chests out of the bottom until this updates again. Same with Labyrinth Store. Labyrinth Store, we've just been farming actually Poe coins because it's incredibly, incredibly difficult. I've also been farming out some of these, and I already have 0 of these because I've been spending them building up Rem to a plus 40 signature item. So we'll pick up more of those. But again, all of the heroes out of here on this specific account, we have pretty much everything built. And there is another copy of Ulna, which takes her to 3 stars, guys. Now, of course, Ulna doesn't need the engraving either. It's just we built her up, God, when engraving was out, which was kind of crazy. What's going on, Carol? Who is currently the best Awakened to build besides Belinda? Honestly, it is the Awakened version of Athalia. This would be the number 2, especially when you're looking at PvP Treasure Scramble. The Awakened version of Athalia, guys. That would be one that I would absolutely build and look for. How can I play AFK Journey Beta? So for the beta, guys, specifically for the beta, you have to download it outside of the United States. So depending where you live, I downloaded the AFK Journey Beta through AFK Pure or APK Pure. APK Pure, I downloaded the beta, then I just downloaded it for my computer, and that's it. Should I stargaze for Liberta or someone else? Liberta. That one guy, absolutely. Liberta is your biggest push in there. That you definitely want to build. Is Trishea being used? Yes, in the Nightmare Corridor. Big C's big brother. That is where we're kind of seeing Trishea. Question is, with new heroes coming out, how much are we going to still see Trishea in these formations? Because even here, Thane, which is kind of crazy. In here, again, a lot of players were running Jerome in this formation. But looking, I don't know how much longer that we're going to see Trishea. And I don't even know if it's in this iteration, which it's not. But I don't know how much longer we're going to see Trishea in the formations. That is yet to be seen. Would I build her out? Honestly, probably not at this point. Trishea is really strong when it comes to the Wilder Tower, so you could build her for the Wilder Tower. But overall, she's being used in kind of niche places. I feel like, again, another probably 3-6 months, Big C, we're not going to see it. We're probably not going to see him there anymore. And what's going on, Rage? Hello, FHG. After all, I'll go for Queen. Yeah, that's it. So Queen would be 1. And look at that. So no res. That is insane, guys. Member for 37 months. You can see he got the highest tier, which is 2 years being a member of the channel, guys, which is the Golden Hippo. The gold is the top. Thank you, Sono Rez, for supporting the channel for, God, that's what, 3+ years at this point? That is absolutely incredible to see. Would you do live Q&A for the finance channel? Absolutely, guys. So I love doing the Q&A. Most of you know I do finance professionally. That is actually my career, is my finance and my finance education and my finance degree. Yes, Kookie, I would absolutely. I'm going to have to plan one to do a Q&A for the finance channel. And I'll give you guys an advance warning when we do. Who is needed more effectively for 60 Liberta or Amelia? Liberta. Absolutely, 100% Liberta, guys. Liberta is still probably the absolute priority to build. And if you checked out the tier list that we've seen from in season, Liberta is the one that you absolutely want to build out, guys. Now in here again, we have 2 heroes here. We have 2 here, 1 and 1. I'm going to burn through my scrolls. Hopefully we can get some of our Awakened heroes in here, or some Celestials and Hypogens would be nice to get anyone. We have 3 more days. I'm going to save my diamonds to finish out Jerome. We needed, I believe, 3 more copies at this point to get those out. How do you like the power creep in the game over the last few months? So Fallen Hoot, that's kind of interesting. The power creep over the last few months has been insane. There's a copy of Ogi. I feel like the last probably, 6 heroes that we've gotten, another elite right there, which is Ogi again. Recycling for sure, guys. Another one, we're looking for Jerome. There is a Naru. I would love to see those Celestials and Hypogens, guys. We still need a lot more copies of a few of those. Another elite, which gives us Ivan. I will absolutely take a copy of Ivan. And the final one just gives us some more resources. But one more on the table, and there we go. Thoughts on the awakened version of Sophia? So she is really strong, Lazarus. A lot of players do use her. And again, looking at the multitude of game modes that we see her in, the awakened version of Sophia is used. We see her, again, used in a lot of different places. And I think this will give me another star on Ivan, which again is kind of adding it up right there, guys. But I also do not have the furniture. Ivan needs furniture by far, guys. Ivan 100% needs furniture. We just haven't got there. Should I use diamonds for select summons if I miss 1 or 2 copies of the hero, or should I keep the diamonds for stargazing? Really makes a difference where your account is. If you have a majority, so I would say, again, general rule, guys, is if you have a majority of the meta heroes built, then you want to focus on building out Liberta. You want to focus on building out Demia, and you probably want to focus on building out, I would say, Lucilla and probably Vathiel at this point would be some of the priority heroes to really build, which I know he's in here somewhere. He always eludes me. There's the Chad. Just for the simple fact, guys, that they still have a lot of utility. When you look at heroes that I absolutely love, like Kanice and Rook, I'm not using Kanice and Rook for much of anything, which is pretty tough. But yeah, I'm not using Kanice and Rook for really much of anything at this point, which kind of sucks to highly invest to a Celestial or Hypogean hero and then not use the hero really at all. So again, it depends. If you're missing some of, and again, if you're missing some of the key meta heroes, yes, absolutely, I would build them out in here, especially if you're missing heroes like Ivan, if you're missing like Naruko. They are some of the big priority heroes that we see in AFK Arena. Who is currently the best Awakened hero to build besides Belinda? I think I answered that night. The Awakened version of Athalia. Absolutely. Picked up a copy of Awakened Thane from the new 10 copy Scrolls code. Very nice, Raphael. Anytime you can get them. Is real that Crescio can destroy the Dust Whaler? Yes. There's a couple guys that, based on the build of some of the bosses within AFK Arena, that is the reason why everyone built out Crescio, including myself. Based on the enemy that you're fighting, some of these heroes, their damage goes through the roof just based on the build. Like some that have multiple targets, some that have debuffs, depending on the stats and abilities that they give the enemy. That is really the difference in all of them. Now, looking at our wish list, guys, we have Jerome already in here. We have 12 for Belinda. We have 12 for Athalia. Want to build out Trishia, but we need it on Naruko as well. And we also need furniture on Ivan. We need to build some more of these furnitures out, guys. We still need mythic furniture. And also we're going to do some beast summons. We will definitely do some beast summons as well, trying to get them all. And there is Trishia. I believe that is going to max her out, guys, to the 9 of 9. Finally, getting Trishia to the 9 of 9. So we're going to drop Trishia out. And again, looking at these heroes, guys, I think we have just about everybody built with these formations. And again, these ones I'm not building. Even looking here, again, the 9 of 9. I might just drop in Liberta. I think that's who we were looking at last time, to build him up a little bit further. Again, based on the furniture, guys, when we start stacking more furniture on here, it is just going to add a damage amplification factor to Liberta because we're starting to get all of these really maxed out. Is he worth the E60? In my opinion, Raphael, no. I did not max him out to the 60, just again, because of the sheer cost. And again, he's another hero that I feel like we're going to see a very short-lived utility with him. And again, I think it's going to go by pretty quick. And I don't think Crescio, just like Trishia, is going to be used. And even then, if you can merc one of the copies, that works well, guys. Double, that's what? Triple? I think that's triple for Liberta that we just got, guys. I have to figure out which one we have to build for Liberta, again, based on the tier list and the priorities of what we're going to build out to him to actually maximize what we have in there. Let's recycle. I don't think we have enough, which we have enough for one more. Not a mythic piece, though. And again, Ivan gets burned. This has been forever, guys. Ivan, we haven't had actually the opportunity to get any of his furniture. So I used the scroll that I got from Leica on Ivan. I'm going to use this card for Ivan, and we just need furniture on Ivan, guys. Since Ivan has been released, literally the day Ivan was released, we put Ivan in here, and we've never pulled one piece of furniture. And I believe another player had actually commented on this. We've never pulled one piece of furniture for Ivan, which is crazy. It's absolutely insane. Why did I name the channel Hippo? So guys, and it's funny because my kids actually asked me, look at this. My son was in school and he made me a furry hippo. So furry hippo is actually something my wife and I went to the Detroit Zoo. If you've ever been to the Detroit Zoo, years and years ago, they had a hippo. They actually, the hippo died years ago, but they had a hippo. We came back from the zoo and my wife and I were just dating at that time. This was 2004, so God, almost 20 years ago. Why did I name it Hippo? The hippo in the zoo, again, we absolutely love the hippo. We got back and we were playing Rock Band, and to play the original Rock Band, you had to have a name to play online. So we actually came up with Furry Hippo because we had seen the hippo in conjunction with the zoo. With my girlfriend at the time, essentially, we came up with Furry Hippo, and it has stuck ever since. We have Furry Hippo Gaming, we have Furry Hippo Finance. We also do have two companies that are around the Furry Hippo as well. So when we started our first company almost 7 years ago, I said, as long as we can name it Furry Hippo, which is Furry Hippo Consulting, she said, perfect, that's what we can name it. It has been ever since, which just the quick backstory, but again, for almost 20 years, that is exactly what it's been, guys. It has always been the Furry Hippo, which is kind of crazy. Rashia is also very good in Campaign and Tower. She makes very tanky. Yeah, and that's it. So with Trishia, working incredibly well. And I don't like investing in heroes where they're kind of a one-off. Again, I don't know how much longer she's going to be used. I use Trishia a lot when it comes to the Wilder Tower because of the tankiness, because of the damage. She does work incredibly well within the Wilder Tower. And it's hard because when you start getting higher in the King's Tower or the Wilder Tower, you need 3 teams. So even when you look here, guys, you have usually 1 hero or 2 heroes. When you start getting into 3 different heroes, you have to focus on having 3 different damage dealing heroes in 3 different teams. So even Orin usually carries 1. You can see right here, Trishia, she is the tank that's up front with the Awakened version of Solus back here. And you'll see Nevi still being used, of course, with Mishka because she will buff Mishka and Mishka's wolves. But overall, guys, we have the 6th hero in here, which is the Seal. Works incredibly well. There's going to be a point where a lot of these heroes you're going to have to build out, which just comes with time in AFK Arena. Honestly, it does just come with time. Should I finish building out Demia or just switch to Liberta? I would switch to Liberta. If you have Demia and Mythic, especially with the signature item, absolutely, you should build out Liberta. Who was my favorite hero when I started playing AFK Arena? Went back and forth. Most of you know the very first hero, guys, the #1 hero in AFK Arena that I got ascended was Rain. Rain was my very first hero, and a lot of you also know exactly who my favorite hero is, which I've been teetering on possibly having a new favorite hero. But Rain was my first ascended hero. Rain was also my first 5-star hero, guys. So when it came to the hero, Rain was the one. And actually, this was long before we had signature items, long before we had tiered furniture or tiered gear. So long ago, it's kind of crazy. As a free-to-play, how far should I build the twins? Eventually, you'll get the twins up to Mythic, up to Ascended. But essentially, I would build them up to Mythic. The plus 20 signature item on them makes a really big difference for the survivability. I got Leica today, my 7th Awakened hero build. Very nice, Joffrey. I love the Awakened version of Leica is doing it incredibly well, which is awesome. Is Crisio worth the E60? Raphael, I'm not. I don't feel like he's worth the 60 again because I feel like some of this is going to be a little bit more short-lived. I still see a lot of effectiveness even having him at the I have him at 309.30, so the plus 30 signature item, 9 of 9 furniture with the plus 30 engraving, and he works incredibly well. Will I do an engraving tier list? Yes, I absolutely can do an engraving tier list. It makes a big difference with engraving. Why do you start using cards on Ivan early, seeing your luck with him? Yes, that's exactly why, Philippe. So again, the day Ivan came out, and I do this with all of my heroes, guys, the day Ivan came out, I put Ivan into the Oak Inn or the Whale Inn, depending where you're at. I have never pulled one piece of furniture for him ever. And I mean, we're probably talking with what we get in this account specifically. We're probably talking tens of thousands of Poe coins. We have still never seen one because Noble Society, we get, of course, the cores and the red chests. Out of here, I get the baits, and I do also get the Poe coins out of here. These are the two that I build. Regal Rewards I don't build, or I don't buy. And then, of course, both of these, the monthly and the deluxe monthly, we buy. That's it. For the normal month, as we have it right now, guys, we buy, again, Champions of Espria, the Twisted Bounties, both the monthly cards, and that's usually it that I buy. That's really it. Almost just buying the Noble Society. Yeah, Noble Society is really big. Honestly, when you look at the income, the other one is, of course, the diamonds, guys. If you're at the visiting merchant, this one is actually a pretty good buy right here because you do get these tiles. You do get 10,000 out of here, plus you do get the additional loot. This one, again, isn't, I believe you get more than that. You know what? Let's pick it up, guys. Just because we're sitting here talking about it. And it looks like we don't have enough money. Sorry, we can't buy it. We don't have enough money. I buy gift cards in here, guys. Once the gift card is spent, that is it. And we're October. We haven't replenished the gift card for October. I put $100 on it every month. So unfortunately, we cannot. What's going on, Childo? What is the option of Jerome? Yes. Seems like Jerome, again, we're seeing Jerome used in quite a few places, guys. When you look at, again, like the Cursed Realm, we're seeing Jerome being used in the Cursed Realm. And he's being used in a couple different teams right here with the Awakened version of Belinda. So this, again, this is kind of the build that we're seeing on Jerome. And he works well. So right there, he put an A+. If you guys seen it, it happens really fast. If you're running it fast, guys, you're not going to see it. Let me see if I can turn off. But watch Belinda. There's the little AS right there. He puts up, there's SS. You'll see SSS. So that's the max that the Awakened version of Belinda can do. So she is right now the SSS. You can actually see it right there. A lot of players miss it with Jerome, especially if you're going the 4x speed. But see the SSS. That is his rating that he's giving for that Awakened version of Belinda. Now remember, the heroes get a 30% buff because of his skills. Now when you look at here at this ability, so she's getting the B, the A, the S, the SS. This is the buffs that he is providing. And then right here, when he is alongside Light Bearers, you get a 30% buff. That's the Awakened version of Belinda all day, guys. Jerome and Belinda are like, like we seen with Rosaline and Belinda. That's not going to change. That is not going to change at all. I feel like that is going to be in formations forever. And as we do get new Light Bearer heroes, it's going to be the same, guys. He's going to be able to buff them 30% higher than anyone else. Sorry for interrupting the AFK. Wish me luck. The month, though. Holding a nice bag of shares. Oh, I'm not sure what. Not sure what you mean, Ryan. Let me know. How are you doing in the Cursed Realm? Yeah, any leaks about the new game modes? Nothing yet. I haven't even seen anything offered us on AFK Insider. Nothing. We're just under 8%. We're running about 8%. And again, I know there's quite a few heroes within my formations that I need to build out a little bit higher, whether it's engraving. But even here, guys, some of these formations, I just need to build up the heroes higher. I have all the heroes. I have a majority of them built out pretty well, but just getting them higher. Even here. Now, one thing to note, guys, one thing to really note is if you're copying formations, and I'm, you know what, let's spend 200 diamonds. If you're copying formations, and I've noticed this again, we've talked about this before. If you're copying formations, so even here, let's go recommended. Let's go with this formation. We'll use it. you have to make sure that your SP effects are turned on. So what I noticed is going in here and actually looking at these formations right here, the awakened version of Athalia has an SP effect. Belinda has an SP effect. When you have teams that are running more than one awakened hero such as this, it doesn't always copy the SP effect that you're looking to use. So even in this one, it uses right here. So it copied Sophia. So right here it copied the awakened version of Sophia. If you look right here, guys, in the formation we duplicated, it did not turn on the SP effect of the awakened version of Solus. It turned on Sophia's. So if I just go in here and blindly copy and use this formation, my damage is going to be off for this team because it copied the wrong SP effect that we want within here. And I noticed this, I was at about 12%. I noticed that the SP effect was wrong. I went in here and I actually changed the SP effects that I had assigned. Made a big difference, guys. I went down about 4% by adjusting 2 of the battles in here that had those SP effect, which again, in here, have to make sure when you're copying a formation, it doesn't copy the SP effect. Here they have Sophia on instead of the original version. And again, that might be, or excuse me, the awakened version of Solus. So here we want to make sure that we have, see, the other one turned on based on the formation. Have to make sure, guys, absolutely make sure. Why do people dupe the 9 of 9 furniture instead of getting all 9 different pieces? The big reason is stats. So when you look at the Oaken, when you look at some of the dupe furniture that we've gotten, the big thing is the stats that you're adding, guys. So even here with Liberta, so depending, and again, I'm going to have to look what room we're building out. So if you're looking here, tenacity is going to go up right here, meaning that we're stacking higher stats on our damage dealers, crit block rating. So we want Liberta to do essentially a lot more damage. And right here is haste, guys. I want to build out more haste on him. We can do upgrade. There we go. It goes from 3 to 6 plus 1 across the furniture because we strengthened this furniture. But this added haste on all 3 pieces of his furniture based on the tier. So right now, I mean, that's what, 3.6 faster haste. That can mean better slot when it comes to the Cursed Realm, the Nightmare Corridor, anywhere that Liberta is going to be used because of the haste buff that we have with more furniture. Liberta is going to do more damage in formations because we do have the higher furniture right there with Liberta. So he's going to cast faster. That's why. And also when you get to a point like we are, Raphael, there's not going to be a point where we need a lot of furniture. So we're at the point with furniture wise that duplicating furniture, we have a majority of heroes 2 9 of 9. I mean, even now we have 900 pieces of furniture. We want to build them out to really maximize the damage they're doing in different game modes. That is the big reason, Raphael. Have you heard of the new power cap system coming? Yes, Lazarus. So if you look at, they did a meeting. I know Lilith Games did something with AFK Arena. I believe, again, it was over on, I believe, Taiwan. That they did an update and they were talking about a lot of changes that are going to be coming, and they're coming in Q4, which means today, guys, is of course October 1st. It is Q4 right now, which means that we're going to be seeing, and we're going to be seeing a lot of changes to AFK Arena, and that is kind of what they alluded to, is there are going to be quite a few changes that are coming, a couple new systems, a couple new builds. We have almost 1,000 bait on here already. Now remember, this resonance, we're looking for 18. So our seal is at 18. We're looking to build all these to 18. And these are the ones we're focusing on. So we're focusing on the owl, the winged lion, and talisman to build out with what we have right here. It's T2 Biosystem and Diagnostics Company for sepsis. Oh, very cool. Very cool, Ryan. Yeah, definitely wish you the best. So would Jerome, Belinda, Palmer, Damia, Rosaline, or Rowan be OP? It is to a point. I would probably replace one of those heroes with a debuffer. So that's one of Donakin is you need a debuffer in there for anyone that you're fighting. That's why a lot of players do run Jerome in there could somewhat be the debuffer, but a lot of players run Rain in that formation. Just for the simple fact that you need debuffers to amplify the awakened version of Belinda's damage on there. All right, guys, let's do a couple summons in here. Maybe we'll see some of these pets or some of these beasts. There we go. There's a winged lion. We're going to literally go down the list with these guys. There is another owl, which I think that'll take my owl up another level. And it goes so fast. And there we go, guys. That is 1,000. So we got what? I think 2 copies. So you figure that's 1,000 bait or 900 plus bait. We got 2 copies of our little beast right here. So let's go ahead. We're going to level up. Yeah, I'll level up strength. That takes the owl to 17. That means we need 4 more copies to 18. And then we're also using the winged lion, taking winged lion up a little bit higher. 16 right there. And again, we're just going to continue going through all these. And then talisman, we have no copies. So we have no copies here. And then we have no copies on this one. Just got to keep doing it, guys. It's probably going to be months. And honestly, with the amount of baits that we do get in here, especially with the Noble Society, it's going to take months to get this done. It's going to be kind of crazy how long it's going to take. Very excited for the next pet. Yes, new pet is coming, guys. When you look at the episode 3 from AFK Inside, within the code, there's already a new pet coming. We know there's a new pet coming. We're just going to have to see exactly what the new beast is. But again, I'm super excited because when the new beast does drop, I am getting that new beast at level 15 already, which is the reason why the beast resonance is so important, guys. Who should I time gaze for? I have 5 Awakened, Brutus, Solus, Baden, Belinda, and Matria. I'm free to play. Yeah, I would probably go the Awakened version of Athalia or Childo. Honestly, at this point, a lot of players are waiting to see the Graveborn. So I'm still betting, and a lot of players are still kind of on the fence, but I am still hoping that we are going to see the Awakened version of Shamira. That is the one that I absolutely want to see, guys, more than probably any other hero in AFK Arena. The Awakened version of Shamira, I hope it is going to be. And again, I will go all in, guys. I will buck up and have the credit card to build and buy the Awakened version of Shamira, and whatever case we do have to build her out. She, of course, was the original carry in AFK Arena, pretty much forever till Damon came out. That was it. How much do you need to pay to win in this game for, let's say, 1 year? Pay to win, honestly, depending where you want to be. If you want to be in the top 1%, you're probably talking, I would say theoretically, let's say $500-800 a month. So, I mean, you're probably talking $10,000 in a year, Fallen Hoot, to be and stay competitive to where we are today based on a brand new account, a brand new server. I would probably say $800 to $1,000 per month. And you're not going to be the top. You're probably not even going to be the top in that aspect, but that is about where we are. Have you tried Souls game? It's a new like AFK. I have not. So guys, I haven't tried that many other games. Again, the time constraints are the biggest thing here between both of the channels that we're covering right now. And then real life, there's a lot going on back to school. We have a lot with catechism, and we have swim, and we have volleyball, and we have football. There's a lot going on. Been struggling hard on motivation and time. What is the best way to keep it up? Honestly, you have to find what works for you. For me, motivation-wise is progression and you guys. Joran, when it comes to motivation, there are a lot of you that hold me accountable, which I absolutely love for making the content, for doing. I actually have a group over through the VRA, so the Video Ranking Academy that I did for YouTube. It's kind of like a course through Think Media. We hold each other, and a lot of us hold each other accountable to really making the commitment to the YouTube content, the creation, the videos, everything of that nature. But on this part, on the gaming side of it, I still love the game, guys. I still find a ton of enjoyment going through all of these game modes. My challenge every single day, even going through here, is seeing where I can make little tweaks like I did right here in the Treasure Scramble, rank 71. Where can I make little tweaks? So looking at the heroes that I currently possess, looking at my win rates, where can I make, again, little adjustments, little tweaks? Is it adding, the 30 engraving into an Ezio because he's becoming more prevalent? Where can I make, or how can I build out a little bit further with my Liberta Lucila team right here? I really look at a lot of different places. Again, that I can make tweaks and adjustments within AFK Arena. So we can just literally continue the progression in here. Got a couple more minutes here, guys. I'm just going to turn this on. Trisha has been killing it. The Horn King in here as well. You see the Thorn Cheese right there. I'm just going to copy the formation and I'm going to let it run. I'm literally going to let it run so I can talk to you guys for the last couple minutes in here. Except I am going to turn on the 4x speed because if not, this is going to take forever and probably 5 days to get it. Hoping for Awakened Chimera. Yes, that is it, Jordan. I want the Awakened version of Chimera. And then, of course, we know that means, guys, the third season or the third year of Awakened Heroes. Don't know if it's going to change going into 2024, which is insane to say that, you know what, in 3 months, we are going to be into 2024. But that is right, guys. We are right there. We are pushing the envelope for 2024. It is going to be awesome. I don't even invest that much a year. Yeah, you got a lot going on. Yeah, exactly. And I love it, guys. For what I do on a day-to-day basis, I plan it. That is probably one of the biggest things that I do, especially motivation-wise. I set aside time to exercise and work out, making sure my diet is good, making sure that I set time aside to do the content creation, the editing, all of that side, doing all the thumbnails. As of right now, guys, I do it all myself. I do all the videos for both channels. Even when it comes to editing, I don't do a lot of editing on here because it's super weird with gaming channels. If I edit out some of the content, it can be really confusing really fast with the content on here. And I love doing the live streams. I want to try to get to a point where I do a live stream on here on AFK Arena every single week, or if we have another game in the future, as well as the finance channel doing the same with the builds. I wish they made Treasure Scramble or yes, more free to play. So the big thing, Rage, is with the Treasure Scramble, it's never going to be super free to play friendly because it's a PvP aspect. Rage, when you look at any game, literally probably any game, mobile game, the big thing that brings the whales, the big thing that brings in an incredible amount of money to games is the PvP aspect. I have never played a game, even going back to every game that I've played with other people, that the PvP aspect is not heavy pay to win, honestly. And look at that, 561 Darkness. We have a brand new subscriber to the channel, guys. We are just short of 35,000 subscribers. That is right. I believe we are at 34.9 something, 950, 960. It is crazy to see that we are at 35,000 subscribers on the gaming channel. It's incredible. Even for the finance channel, we're at 520. I think yesterday was 520 something. 524, guys. The finance channel has 524 subscribers. So again, absolute insane to see. But before we conclude here, I want to hop over. I want to do the gifting membership. I almost forgot it, guys. Let me hop over. And I know we have enough for our giving. I love doing the membership gifts. I love seeing all of those hippos when you guys comment. Whether it's on YouTube and in the comment section of the video, or if it is in the live stream, guys, I love seeing the memberships in here. It's very true. Yeah, like I said, guys, for a majority of mobile games, the PvP aspect is super pay to win. And Centrix, congratulations for the membership, guys. Rage X got one, I believe, last week when we did the stream. Had a lot of gifted memberships, which is awesome to see, guys. All the love and support for the channel is absolutely crazy. The finance channel, yes, Fallen Hoot, the finance channel. What's the link to the finance channel? Let me grab it for you real quick. Let me grab it. So if you want to check it out, guys, again, there's no, if you want to, you can. If you don't, I do personal finance. Most of you know, if you guys have watched the channel or seen it, that's what I do professionally. And that's what I do for, that's what I do at the financial institution I work for. It is a credit union and we do the financial counseling. We do all of that. But that is the actual channel to the financial education. Who was the lucky one? It was Cetrix was the lucky one. How do I do the thorn cheese? So Boatman, with the thorn cheese specifically, this is probably one of the most difficult pain in the butt formations. This one in the Charizard, it only works in very specific formations, and it might take 100 times. It might take 500 times. It might take 2,000 times before you get the Thor and Cheese to work. It is insane on how much the Thor and Cheese, how much RNG is built within the Thor and Cheese to get it to work. So a lot of people say, I didn't get it to work. You might have had to try it for half an hour or an hour or longer at that point, and it only works again in very, very specific formations. Can you get this Thor and Cheese to work? You can't just think of round hole, square peg being the Thor and Cheese. You're never going to get it to work in every formation. It does not work in a majority of formations, and it will never work in those formations. But every now and then you have a set or you have a build depending on the heroes that you're facing. And level deficiency does also make a big difference, Boatman, is if you're very close in level, the Thor and Cheese, again, will not really work because the enemies are not doing enough damage to you. That's kind of the other problem that we do see. Specifically with the Thor and Cheese is if the enemies are not strong enough, they're not going to do enough damage to Thorin, meaning the retaliation ability is not going to work, which kind of stinks. But not going to make any progression today, guys. 52-20 is where we're at. I want to push some more progression in here, which I think we will this week. Trying to get to 53, trying to get to 54. And all of that is content that I have never seen. That's one of the big things, guys, is a lot of this content are things that we have never seen. That is the reason why we push the chapters. The rewards honestly suck for these chapters. You're getting next to nothing for making progression in here. And there we go, guys. Thorin gets it done. Just like we see, it takes a long time for the victory in here, but Thorin does get it done. Here is Athalia in this one. Then we have the kind of triple crowd control here in the back. Athalia went down pretty quick. And again, this is going to be a RNG factor to Brutus getting all these targets down. And then Amelia has crowd control. Leonardo has crowd control. Is Naruko worth building? Yes. Absolutely. Withered Milk. I would build Naruko. Naruko has a lot of different places. With looking at the build, Naruko is a damage dealer, is a buffer, is a really strong buffer, and also is a really big healer. That's the other big thing, is also is a very, very big healer in formations. It's interesting to see the combination between those. Awaken Athalia or Laika, I have Brutus and Belinda. The awakened version of Athalia or Laika, both of those, either one of those G-Star, Athalia, again, game mode wise, utility mode wise, the awakened version of Athalia is used everywhere. Laika is used in a majority of places, but even here, we're not using Laika in this one, but we are still using Athalia. So you just seen Athalia in that last one. Again, it depends. Can you try the Trishia comp? Yeah, let me try it after this one. I think I already used some of the heroes that go into that comp. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to utilize that comp in its entirety because we already used some of the heroes. Just got to take down our immunity here. And there we go, guys. Dallas Main literally driving these heroes away. What's going on, Japart? Doing well today. Got to cut the lawn when I'm done here. Got some more shopping to do here. Quite a bit still left to do here. And this is kind of an interesting with a 5 pull. This one is weird. Haven't played in 3 years. Any tips? Stack your wish list. That's it, Robbie. There is so much content in AFK Arena. It's kind of crazy to see nowadays, but stack the wish list with all of the new meta heroes. Follow the guide that we put out this morning. You'll be able to do well. I don't know if this is going to work at all. I mean, literally, we're just getting crushed in this formation. I want to see where Horn King was at on this one. Bids are had a 9 right there, so it works. We're just going to have to get, and ours are quite a bit built, quite a bit higher. Let's see if this works, guys. It seems like Zolrath was the damage dealer in here, which of course we know is going to be the pet. There we go. Charizard went off. There we go. And that's it, guys. Got it done that easy. That's kind of crazy. So looking here, guys, look at that. 471 billion. 471. That's a lot of damage in there. 149, 142, 124. Looking down here, 208 billion from Rem, throwing it out there. 232 from Lucretia. And then, of course, 30 from Zolrath. But the pet bringing in 11 billion damage right there, guys. That's kind of incredible that the pet is doing out so much damage. Yeah, people or Pipo, drop it in formation. Let me know what formation you're talking about with the Trichia comp. I'll drop it in here, so we'll actually pull this and I'll drop it in there. Is the Charizard that good in campaign? It is. So Primo, it's kind of a cheat strategy with the Charizard. There are so many players that still run it, and we still see it. Feels overwhelming. Thought about re-rolling and starting over. You could, but depending where you're at, Robbie, you'll be able to make a ton of progression, and you get all of the welcome back rewards you should be able to pick up in there, including some of the swaps in there. I just save up for the next Awakened Hero. At the moment, I have 270 cards, so not worth it. Yeah, I would just save them if you're waiting to see, guys, because essentially when the next hero comes out, if the next hero does not work incredibly well, you can actually just go back and build some of the other heroes, which works. But yeah, the Charizard does work incredibly well in campaigns. Again, it is another one that has a ton of RNG. That is one of the big things in there. Primo, it is a very, very heavy RNG comp that we see within AFK Arena. Either it works and it works incredibly well, or everyone just dies every single time, like what we just seen. Most of the time, everyone just dies. A majority of the time, that's what we see, but you just need one. Just need one time for that formation to work, and then that's it. It works incredibly well. Let me know. Let me know, people, or Pippo, if you're going to drop that in there. And look at Liberta, guys. Just kind of crazy to see with a lot of damage heroes, a lot of crowd control, a lot of damage in here. Boom, 72, still did 12 billion in healing. And of course, 1 billion from the seal, but look at that. That's kind of crazy. What tips would you give a new player trying to get into Nightmare Court or Cursed Realm? Where's most recommended teams aren't new player friendly? So the big thing with the new, borrow a copy of Scarlet. So even on my brand new account that is 5 days old, when you look here at the Solemn Vow, make sure you're in the Solemn Vow. Go in the Mercenaries tab, guys, borrow Scarlet. Scarlet will do an incredible amount of damage in the game modes because you're pretty limited to what you can still build in here, but build out and get a copy of Scarlet. It will work incredibly well, especially when it comes to the guild bosses. The guild bosses, even with one single copy of Scarlet, will make a big difference when you're in here doing the damage to the guild bosses to maximize all of those game modes. Scarlet is huge because when you start out, you only need one team and you only have one team. Definitely do Scarlet in there, guys. All right, but we're a couple minutes over. I don't know if Pippo was going to drop that in there, but we will definitely check it out next time, guys. But that is going to do it for our live stream. Thank you guys for joining me and spending the hour on the Sunday. I got to go cut the grass. I got to do shopping. There's a lot of other stuff that we have going on today. But again, guys, thank you for all the love and support for the channel, all of the new subscribers, guys, and the new members that we have. Big congratulations to you guys for everything that you guys do. Definitely check out the finance channel if you have not as of now. If you need financial education, it is really the spot, guys. Something, again, that I'm really passionate about and I love to do. So again, guys, that'll do it for our live stream. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, what you guys want to see AFK Arena-wise. And as always, thank you guys for watching.